Good morning, students. Like paribo, si po pase gyan tari bro. Ay na kanba hoju po sa gyan tari na kanjay ko. Maram di yam laina tak thok rebo jana natra. Akoi sel gi maram de myam khange. Akoi de yaw riba sel myam je. Sel ji ki manung na kari yawi kamaina function do ina haiba charak pam khange myam khange. Hoji sel organizing ji manung da magi function akoi na hoji khol ba sing je shi tawgre vacuole tawgre adagi smooth endoplasmic reticulum tawgre khot khaba myam jalan ma explain tawgre ba ngata ne ko yai ko ngasi gi topic sina mitochondria yam tang tak ke mitochondria yam tang da yai ko adu targadi sidai da ihan hanna kadai no ba mitochondria je kadai da lei mitochondria ja sida lei re sida jugu law ga sama samsa happy selam da mitochondria kaya yawu da ge haibdu akoina masing cell du gi makha abdi pole ko amasung jiba mada cell du gi leifam du gi su makha pole ko mitochondria kaya yawu da ge habdu akakna ba khara leijara sanu sida suyawre aina chauna som dek thoga thame aduga magi parts na chingma so sida aina kaino tak trim mangda ls na ma hai ko ls na hai sida ai gi khud sa sumai tasel laga leige ba sumai tasel laga round na yerum na changdor pa round oina udra adumaina sida khatang collab tawra ba natraga collab tawdra su sumai sanglap na chatla ba yerum na matum tar na sanglap na chatla ba sanglap na adune ba mana sausage shape or cylindrical hai ja sumaina sanglap na sausage shape or cylindrical sumaina matum tare khalla se ba yai ko sida aina sumaina ka thakke ba sida ka thakke ba blade na sumaina len ge ba adugi len me do aina mathak ta gi uruk tori ba sitang khai se lakthokre dana ko aduga magi lengta magi asang da kai latra ja tang khai se lakthokra kan mathak ta gi urak pa mong du ne baina se ye se yabra adana leng da pagi longitudinal section hai ne ba se yabra longitudinal section sumaina length ka pagi aina sumaina ka am tarba yungna sumaina ka am tarba sibuna ts transverse section hai ni okay we are talking about mitochondria. Before we learn about mitochondria, we want to know about its shape. Its shape is sausage shape or slightly cylindrical like this. If we cut in its length like this, if we see it from above, we will be able to see the structure in this form. While cutting it in its length, we call it as longitudinal section or LS. Aduga, if we cut in this one breadth, in its transverse form, we call it as TS or transverse section. Adugi section do gidi sida diagram yaudre ko. Sumaina kakpa da diagram yaudre. Adu tamura di kana ro ena sum hairam bani ko kakpa gi niyom da. Okay. Now, as we know about the shape of mitochondria ki shape khanga banina. Amuka na hizai sini aina English ta hai se Manipuri da hai graba loi graba potu amuka na English ta hairak pani marui basing do maramdi akhoi gi satra singi marakta yam tungshiraba yam lai tamning ba tribal chinaw yawdu Manipuri khangda basu yawe mogi dama khalaga Manipuri arai badi handoktra su aruba which are difficult for them mogi aruba Manipuri sing de in amuhanna Manipuri da hai ban loi graba madum English ta ngang mane ba mogi dama ta khanbiraga adagadi Manipuri ngata khangba noi su English en haiga tuinatra okay now sida mathang hairaki ko akoina sibau da khange mitochondria haragadi mitochondria mayam dubu mitochondria ko duneba ama khatang oragana ama khatang single mitochondria gana mitochondrion hani mitochondrion ya brasiba uza aduna ne ls of in a mitochondrion na haise ama khakna troina iza ama khak yekpagi da mitochondrion hai ne ba ko ya marui ba haige ba masa double membrane bound structure membrane ani na kupsile ani na mamang tamgi ba endoplasmic reticulum ni khangde Golgi bodies ni khangde natraga lysosome ni khangde moidudi membrane ama khakna kupsin gi ba kupsili ko lysosome gi spinal membrane ama khakna kupsin gi dra kupsili ko adui taragadi sigi mitochondria se yam maroi ba very important ani ni ko organelle ahan ba khangjilo mitochondria has a double membrane bound structure. Kamaina maku anina kupino haib da hairage. Ahan ba maku sina outer membrane. Sigi maku mapan ki maku se ahan ba maku ahan bam lere. Outer membrane. Manungi sigi smaina kupaise se madi manungi sidi folded ore ko khara smaina khara fold out sale. Sigi manungi membrane jibuna inner membrane kore. Ya bra ai video yo lotion ram tang check tawge ko. Mapan gi sina outer membrane kore. Manungi sina inner membrane kore. Sibo pasi yare. Phare adai targadi aina hojik hai gi bigi matungina manungi membrane ja sumaina fold taraga mon magi membrane khara sangdoraga sumaina folding ona semde khara sangdoraga folding ona semeba. Okay. Adi question am tang jage surface area hari mapak se kaya memna pak ke hai targadi mapan gi membrane jiga manung gi membrane jiga kanan hena pam do male tamji ko mapan gi membrane jiga manung gi membrane jiga kanan hena ting thok targadi kanan pak kane masana tabani ko manung gi membrane ji hena pa ane tumi ko kaido bagino haiba matamda manung gi membrane ja si sumaina folding taraga si subsala ija si pakthorok taraga di hena pakthor aneba thawenki si subsala ini ko magi surface area hengatna ba maramdi haiba mitochondria gi membrane sing sida function tawdune ba reaction myam thokanda kaida ba jikida membrane sing sida function tawdune ba reaction myam thokanda aduna maram orkanda hena surface area yamigai reaction tawbam nungai du natro classroom je chawrigai noi myam chandoi neba noi myam lai takpa chandoi neba classroom pi gai miyam chaloi du neba chapmana na function tawda bu su sigi mapak se pai gai hena pharoidra adugi damakta sumaina folding khara inthorak pase inthorak pasibu koina criste hai ye pulap makatang na crista mayam yamagana haidi si pulap sebana criste CRISTAE criste hai yai ko sibok de yam make sing amam ta ta e ko phare sibok ba leire outer membrane khangre inner membrane khangre inner membrane jina sumaina inthorak pasibu crista haina kore na trugana plural the criste haire phare adudi adargadi sigi manung se ko aina yakshan gi ko khangna ba sigi inner membrane jina kupsiliba no yakshan lo haibna de ko khangna ba hamni ko sigi manungi space sibu matrix higher name very important si matrix higher name kai haiba jiki to sigi manung se si matrix higher name yabra sibo ba yare aduga amana yengu ko aduga amana outer membrane jiga inner membrane jigi marakta su space khara lebra space leitra sa sigi space jibuna intermembrane space higher kai haiba khumji ko intermembrane space I hope aina khale noi gi notebook ri kra lain mang hojik note tori na khale ko noi de mara mok puni na note torong gani na khale ko hai aina time ma'am je action na question na torong gani ye basing se action launa kanda like de yaw bu na phasa ni o like de yaw da be la buduna na kanda big action lo aduna khangna batak pani pe kha de hangoe ba hamra like de yaw bo ga di khwai de gi live form na yek pani adu action lo ba si action doi ni ko boy du da aduga class ta yaubiro ba khumji ko hanu jo higher than ko okay I will explain that same thing again in English okay we have told that just now this mitochondria is made up of two membrane covered by two membrane layer that is why we call it double membrane bound structure. The first membrane, the outermost membrane is we call it as outer membrane, very easy, and the inner one we call it as inner membrane. This one is the outer membrane and this one which is in the folded form is the inner membrane. Inner membrane, while it extends and makes its folded form is known as crista. In its singular form, amakatangda wanda. If there are many, we call it cristae. Sumayna magawdoni ko habidi mayam crista mayam se cristae haire. Okay. Now, the space which is bound inside the inner membrane, where I have painted it with green. You should not paint it with green, okay? I just paint it because so that you will know the part, okay? Sigi green ki part se no sanga do banate ko khangna ba jam sangmani ko. This green part we call it matrix. Sigi matrix here in this matrix and also in the inner membrane and also in the outer membrane, many functions, reactions will take place in it. In the matrix also, inner membrane also, and also in the outer membrane, many reaction will take place. So if there is a folded form, it will increase its surface area of the membrane, right? I will repeat again, if there is folded or extended form, the surface or area of the inner membrane will be increased. If the surface area is increased, then the reaction which will be taking place in the inner membrane will also be increased. That is why they are found in the extended form, which we call as crystal. Okay? And this space is called matrix, and the space which is present between outer membrane and inner membrane, we call it intermembrane space. Till here, Shibogda mitochondria ki part sing se karino khangabani hausi mitochondria manung da kari yauge habado mutnai na rase bako. Mitochondria manung da kari yauge unai na rase bako. Mitochondria se double membrane bound organelle ni membrane ani na kopsilaga semi habasuma sungkau kau bianuko. Mitochondria se membrane ani na kopsilaga semi atopa organelle su lairi tamakini mitochondria se amkan haige they are bounded by two membrane. Also, we have known that the first one is outer membrane and the second one is inner membrane. And as I have already mentioned you, han aina high grade madudi sumaina magi membrane ani se magi mathau mana dena aduna mangonda yauriba enzyme makhal singse outer membrane yauba inner membrane enzyme haragadi reaction tawbada sijina daribaduni ko adugi enzyme singsi su amta mana deba tongan ba specific enzyme leba ko. Okay, adu makhada kari haibi age hab matamda okay mitochondria se kaido bagino hab matamda ne mitochondria se site for energy production yam line igi ko energy production in the form of ATP Hey, ko si bauza. Awan na han ba part ta. Koi na high grade madudi. Magi membrane ani shure outer membrane and inner membrane da yauriba enzyme singse manade specific oi hare ko. On specific enzyme tuan function to dunina manadre ko. Aduga hariba mitochondria se yam very important yam ATP har even a no o e akhoi haise ko sida marui ba point ko sana na tu ja mitochondria se energy sungmanga meba nang na hojik chak char matung da energy fangaga class yaro ga like par ga like pharni natraga nang hayeng nongaila ka labuk to sabak suba chatlu doini any function nang na chawa tumba like gi ba khuding mak function da wese energy yaw draga di yagadra yaroi natra adugi energy do sigi mitochondria sa sungwene hamra ATP from adenosine triphosphate avni ko sibudi kona lakani ATP haiba jema khangalo sigi unit chi mong da sida energy se sungwene ba haiba chikito akhoina mitochondria da akhoina hing da sijna riba energy khuding mak se energy me amadi sigi manung da sung ya bane ko maduna maram ora kanda masigi mitochondria se green dine urone powerhouse of the cell cell sigi mase powerhouse ni hena khangnei ba cell sigi powerhouse ni na maramdi power phangbam oibagi powerhouse the cell power pai ba ka khogi kai nyam lidane cinema ga dui power do nate ko sida hai sidi cell sidi da mana energy sungbase ATP gi mona sungbase mitochondria da sungi aduna marga mase powerhouse of the cell haina hai question hange powerhouse of the cell har kana bu khangnai hadi khomo kana bu khangnai mitochondria bu khangnai powerhouse of the cell hardi kana bu khangnai aina hajik iba point mams amam to ina very important ni ko mitochondria ho her khangnai hai Also, sorry. They are the site for aerobic respiration. Tamakini ko, si aerobic respiration ja, chapter ma chao tamduni khu chao ti chao tamduni yamna nungai ba, khwai dagi su lu ba. Adubu laina takpi duni ko jana. Si aerobic respiration si tau pham se mitochondria da oye ba. Yabra, I shi ba usang English ta ke. The production of energy in the form of ATP inside the cell takes place in mitochondria, and that is why this mitochondria is known as the powerhouse of the cell. I will repeat again, the production of energy in the form of ATP takes place inside the mitochondria of the cell. That is why mitochondria is also known as powerhouse of the cell. And also another point is, this mitochondria is the site for aerobic respiration. By aerobic haragadi oxygen yauraga respiration to ido. Akoina sor holi basisu sor holaga function mayam tawduni ko sisu aerobic respiration makhalam neba. Akoi aerobic respiration je na tono hunjalaga lungs ta oxygen chupse laga ju ta sekna manung da ke kai thadana thugara ta duje sisna doise inside the mitochondria akoi hakjang manung da yariba cell manung da yariba mitochondria manung da aerobic respiration cha thaduni neba. Yarba sibabu leire adugane hamra yam maruiba amaga sum haige ba ko very important oiba mo haige ba ina haining is ko single circular DNA ga ribosome ga 70s ta ko 70s na nam 70s ina haire na ko S ribosome S kai no ha ribosome tak pada hierarchy ko 70s ko haiza yam na important na bani ko khangzalo sim that ke adu ga hierarchy tar chumna cell am leire cell ji manung da nucleus am leire nucleus ki manung da DNA me am yaure ko eukaryotic cell dana sumaina leire nucleus isu membrane kopsalaga halini ko prokaryotic cell dana thaina ki cell dana DNA ka kaja sumain tar leire maku kopsandre plasmid DNA na su leire si matana te kunena de ja si hundo kra ji ko si hundo kra je sumaina nucleus manung da DNA khra leire di khange ko sigi DNA sina si human cell ne haragadi sigi DNA sida sida hayeng wai chromosome unthora kanda nangi ima baba gi tangkhai chromosome tangkhai animak yaudu natra nang se nangi wangiba nangi nemiba nangi machu nangi mit mawong loina bak to sigi manung da nangi sigi manung stage store tor kanda thamma kanda sigi da yauri badu matuina nangi na sakno no sumain tor ine sigi DNA ji matungina si DNA se nataba mitochondria do sida gi age baina sigi mitochondria sigi manung du sune circular DNA yawe DNA sida yawe single amakak ningo sida su DNA yawe sigi mitochondria sigi manung da DNA yawe mitochondria se cell organelle natro maniko mamang da khoi kana tamgre golgi bodes ka tamgiro smain dawdana monda di yaubra yaude monda di cellular DNA yaubra yaude lysosome tamgi monda yaubra yaude endoplasmic reticulum tamgre monda yaubra yaude adubu masigi mitochondria sigi manungda circular DNA je yawe mi ko very important also ribosome je yawe ba aduna maramaraga moi protein sumangame ani yawa na maramaraga moi protein haibadi cell sigi manungda cell ama yaubagi mawongda manungda cell gi mathau khara do organelle gi manungda mathau tawjaba ngamme ngaktra sigi to an concept yam deep lay khare ko faja ba ko na khangning ga di takpi ge ko kamaina kai do baino na I will repeat again in English. Suppose this is cell. Suppose this is cell, okay? There are many other organelles present in the cytoplasm, and in the middle there is nucleus. The character which you take from your parents are all stored inside the DNA in your nucleus, right? That is why you are tall, because your parents are tall, and that tallness characteristics are stored inside your DNA or chromosome inside your nucleus in your cell, which makes you tall. But these mitochondria are cell organelles which are floating above or on the cytoplasm. Inside this organelle, there is single circular DNA. Like this kind of DNA, there are one single circular DNA inside this mitochondria. Also, there are ribosomes inside this mitochondria. Because of the presence of these two, that is single circular DNA and ribosome in the form of 70S, they can make protein inside the mitochondria itself. All these functions takes place in the cell itself, but this function is also taking place inside the mitochondria. Although it is a very small process, picture taragajuna. Mapandasu tawrineva samanabase. Manungasu masagi oizaba protein sung mangamjai haibonida. Nang ngawrize ngawbugi protein sung kana fongdura ineba. Yabra. Adumaina mitochondria dadi nangi ngawbugi yawrugo mitochondria masagi yawrniba. Aduga maze masana masa poktoksaba ngameba cell magi mangda ani poktoksaba ngameba. Great, right? You know, this mitochondria inside the cell itself, it can divide into two by fission. Masa poktoksaba ngameba maze. Si mitochondria masana ani macha ani daughter mitochondria macha ani sema ngamdani fission to kana hambra. Yabra. Aduna akoina pulap ki cell divide taram daida mitochondria am tang yaram ani tho kanda si yaw groi ko ani shorani ko nucleus ta khai tan ta thoni ko ama je somja si je somja lan graji ko si je somja lan graji ko adumaina mitochondria su yen thorok tu neba khangbra kona porotori ba macha ani sa sigi mitochondria su yen thorok tu neba ei ko sina kona lakse ngaur ni noi. What I want to say is the mitochondria which is present inside the cell, they can divide because of the presence of single circular DNA and ribosomes. As they form protein, they can divide itself inside the cell and form its new daughter cells. New daughter cell habadi are new daughter mitochondria. Same ani bako. So I change the fission daraga. I want to get. I'm marui before I'm hiring. Sat. I know hiding is that. Mitochondria is keep marui. Among the site for aerobic respiration, hiring a sign a high grade. Adagi Atopomatang higher prematurina, masse, double membrane, Maguni cupsele high Maku anise, Pedova, Mabani the Yariba, enzyme and Moktusuma, and high grade. Magi part to the Halargico. Diagram you keep there. At the Giamuki Hirena, Magi, quite a gimaru basa, you know, Magi Manunda, circular DNA yauri hire. Monda ribosomes yauri hire. See 70 years from the yauri hire. See Yaubana Maramaraga, Mase Masagi, my seal Manung the Yauzana, Masagi protein Sumanga me hire. Adu protein Maramagana Mase Macha, Nipopanga me hire. Inside the cell itself, this organelle can form two daughter organelles. Very important. If you go young, see a maroon circular DNA of laser. I'm on a double membrane or double membrane. I need to call bad ever. I listen like higher. I hope you understand. No, you don't call it higher. Mitochondria is the lore. Aduga, I have a plastic lake. Punka lady. Minute ka hore. Plastic tak panang doji mande adubu plastic khara hauramge plastic haimnatiko plastic haimniko yo plastic type to bokang thongpiramage mitochondria lo shaleko am live janida asam sangdona digan am taro aina noida mag hanjan takpiramneko fare plastic ta lage plastic che like the yek pe aubra yawi chloroplast thang lagi amagi plastid plastids haire ko plastid se kai no ba plastid se kai no khang di ko sida yaw bro su plastid yaw dre kamai do ba yawi ko akhoi na ne chloroplast na tar ba tai ko pambi na green mature je ka yaw bai ne ba khumji ko pambi na green mature je ka yaw bai ne ba chlorophyll yaw bai ne ba na tra aduna plastid se chloroplast hai ja sita is da chlorophyll yaw du ni dana chloroplast se plastid ki type makhal amane ba ko plastid se plant cell da yaw du ne ba yabra kai yaw du ne ba plant cell da yaw du ne ba ko and also in euglenoids ma se kana da yaw ba present in plant cell and also in euglena kana le tare ko adu dagila aga euglenoids ka plant cell ga da ma se yaw du ne ba plastid che ko animal da ga di yaw de ko akoi da chloroplast yaw sala adi chlorophyll yaw adi khoi chak cha dro sha du ni ko chlorophyll sta yaw tar ga di nungsa da lepa lore nungsa da lepa ga ma thanda dum masin jak chung je ni ko chlorophyll yaw de ko khoi da human da yaw de ko dine yong ma khair ge sa ina green yaw se green je chloroplast neba chloroplast se sineba plastid haise plastid ki makhal neba chloroplast haise ko plastid che kana da yawi have matam da plant cell da yawre aduga euglenoid da yawre haire these plastids are present inside plant cell and also in euglenoids okay according to the types or the pigment which is present inside the plastid to the yauriba pigment karam makhal gi pigment yauba du gi matuina pigment present tawba du gi matuina ma se makhal ahum tu na khaido ne ba ko chloroplast haiba mane chromoplast haiba mane aduga leucoplast haiba mane sibo siabra chloroplast khanga leire they are green in color kai yauge habdu rakhi ko chromoplast se they are either red in color or slightly yellowish in color or orangish in color ani je punja laga orange hapa chare ko okay mo na yar ba pigment se green ebagi pigment present gi matung ina plastid che makum makhal om to khai dore haire mo na yar ba se green ebagi green oibaduna maramaraga ma chloroplast haire mo na ba khangbu duna red machu na tru yellow machu na tru orange machu oibana maramaraga na chromoplast haire leucoplastic colorless they don't have any colorless mo na color yaude yabra mo na colorless oirabanina okay mo na yawa singa here ki ko colorless oiraga ma leucoplast ne haire aduga okay sida yaw si chlorophyll ba yaw khangai ko chlorophyll and carotenoids monda du je carotenoids ka yaw ni ba si han ma chloroplast yaw du je aduga chromoplast yaw du shina chandre ko fat soluble keratin pigments like sida keratin is this yarn keratin makhalama kerotinam yarni xanthophyll chandre ko kaida isige kamain to sige leucoplast tharak sara ina chawna iraga dine una ban to ne phare sida monda du je red na du ne na sakrani oibudi oi tar ga ju phare monda du je kerotin yaure xanthophyll sandare PHYLS xanthophyll yaure adu atopa pigments kra su yaure ko leucoplastic colorless oire yare very good shibo bas yare amana hange I would like to repeat one again according to the pigments which is present inside plastids can be divided into three types. The first is chloroplast. It is green in color because of the presence of chlorophyll and carotenoids. And the second type is chromoplast. It is of yellow or red or orange in color. Orange in color. It is made up of keratin, xanthophylls, and other compounds. And the last type is leucoplast. It do not have any color. It doesn't have any color. That is why it is colorless. Colorless. Colorless or colorless. L-E-S-S niko. Leucoplast is colorless. Now, leucoplast ki type amamula age bako. Chilang chunu mamana kenon taijaram ge. Akoy na khangi madudi sigi chlorophyll se photosynthesis ma teng pangi sima khangbi ra horo. Chlorophyll se chloroplast yauduni mana light energy se chupchin bagi absorb tawbagi mateng chupchila kanda photosynthesis tawdune tra adu kaw birano buko azu leucoplast la ke leucoplast ya makhal am khaidor tori ba leucoplast ko leucoplast khaidor ke ko tangai minas chloroplast, chromoplast, and leucoplast. No ningsing namni koina hanjan haija. Leucoplast ki type makhal ahum to na khaidor tore leucoplast. Leucoplast se ahan bada amyloplast. Mathang dana ilioplast. Mathang dana eleuroplast. When I store carbohydrates. I shall like store oils and fats. Shamdalar. Maru Paragi, the Max Hamzalar go itorake. Sina proteins. Okay. Shibo Bakane. What's that? I know how to say plastid kim makala home to no hydrocre, pigment yabudu gimatungina hire. Atargadi, a hand badu, chloroplast layer, any should do, chromoplast layer, home subase, leucoplast layer. Leucoplast, makal home to no hydrocre, amyloplast, ilioplast, eleuroplast. A hand bagi amyloplast. Okay, wait. All the leucoplasts are colorless, matulate ko. Aduki leucoplast to the amyloplast ko gihardi, more the carbohydrates stored over. More the carbohydrates tungshil laga layer. Ragadi maduki tungshil liba leucoplasto amyloplast ka oils and fats, FATs, fats and oils and fats stored or targadi madubu ilioplast ka Hungary niko sek 1 mark ta. Tell name the plastid which is used to store oil and fats. Hai plastid makhal do karamba no oil and fats stored up do ka hardi ilioplast ni nang haidu ne ko very important because that again protein stored or matarba targadi eleuroplast karniva protein stored or matargadi eleuroplast karniva very easy. I'll speak the same again in English. If that leucoplast, which is colorless, store carbohydrate, it is called amyloplast. If it stores oils and fats, it is called ilioplast. If it stores proteins, it is called eleuroplast. Question will be asking from this, like, hoje hai duniko, karamba plastic oil and fats yawi hargadi ilioplast, ELAIOPLAST, ilioplast. Sumaina inangasi, no in the hujitaki baze, mitochondria ga plastic katagore. Plastid sida loidri, plastid ta hojit aina chloroplast chaw ne tho tamdoini chloroplast se mathang class ta age hojit nangaroi ko atadi noi sangdo khade noi boring chu thokrani bako siboba plastid ki matek siboba gyan tare na khalle aduna chume class sida lo shalasi ngasi ta khibase ngasi mak pasan biu ramya mokpani ngasi mak ta khibase ngasi mak phadok biu note sembiu aduga mathang class ta amuk rasi ko thank you so much.